Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the MakeCode Arcade Advanced stream. I'm Richard. Richard on the MakeCode forum.
I'm Joe at JWonderl on the MakeCode forum.
I'm Shannon at Checkout on the MakeCode forum.
And it's MakeCode Juniors. Today I was planning on Vivian streaming, but Vivian unfortunately couldn't be here. So I had to come up with a game real quick because I think the card game was just really getting into the weeds, and it was going to be like one of those games that never ends but never really goes anywhere either. So we're going to work on this, and I am going to bring back MakeCode Slam. I just need to do a little bit of work on it off stream, so it might be early next week that I start bringing back MakeCode Slam. But today I thought we would make a game that has a skill tree. Because I think those are fun, and I thought it might be fun to unlock just random stuff for a character. So the idea with the skill tree is you get like experience points, and then you can put them into different things, and that unlocks the next things in the skill tree, and blah 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 blah. And so what I need from you guys is one, what should the theme of this game be? I'm thinking that like that game I was talking about before stream, we should unlock just like different outfits or jobs that we can get more specific on with our character.
Jobs is pretty good.
Yeah, so like a Final Fantasy Tactics style job system where like you train as a thief and then you can be a ninja, or something like that. So is there yeah, jobs is good. So do you guys just want to draw a bunch of jobs, characters as a job?
Characters as job, okay. Should we have like a base character that we draw on top of?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Maybe we should start with like a 16 by 16 or 32 by 32, just like Richard character.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, Shannon, you volunteered to draw it.
A Richard character?
Yep.
Oh, I meant like a Richard drawn character.
Oh, like a Richard drawn character. Oh, all
you
right.
have your style that you go with, and I like that style for.
Okay, we'll do 32 by 32. I'm gonna do the classic green skin. I like to do. And I don't know. Now I'm all self-conscious. What is my style?
Poof of hair is definitely Richard's style.
Yeah, that was obvious. We can give some eyes. Whoops.
Oh.
And we'll give him like a boring shirt. He's just a boring normal guy right now.
And I'm guessing this will be what's the origin class in this game that you're? Is it villager? Villager's pretty typical.
I don't know. I'm like, I think we're going for like more modern time period.
Okay.
You know, like modern jobs. I mean, you can do whatever you want, frankly, with your jobs. So feel free to, get weird.
When you're saying modern jobs, are you talking about like we go to be like a sales clerk, and then the next job up after you get to level 50 is manager, and then CEO? That's pretty much the progression path I know of. Or are you talking about fantasy jobs?
No, that's absolutely something you could do. Like one of my favorite jobs that's in the original Final Fantasy Tactics, just because of how random it is, but also it's very good, is I think it's like arithmetician.
Oh, okay.
Arithmetician.
Yeah.
And you cast spells that are based off like number things. Like everyone whose level is divisible by a prime number takes this much damage. It's hilarious.
Divisible by a prime number is a lot of levels.
Yeah. And they have a bunch of other things like that. Like if they're even, if they're odd, if their level ends in whatever. And I was confused because some of these show up in Tactics Advance also. There are some random abilities that enemies have that fall into this kind of thing. And I was always like, I do not understand how these work as a kid. And it wasn't until...
it's also known as the calculator class, apparently.
Yeah, it wasn't until much later that I realized what it all meant. Oh, we lost Shannon.
Oh.
There we go. Okay. This little guy. It's a dude. And I'll center him. And you can use up to 32 by 32. So feel free to put a hat on him or something.
Oh, 32 by 32. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Go wild.
Okay, so I'm thinking cat cafe owner or cat cafe worker, cat cafe owner, zookeeper, or zoo owner. Because that'd be pretty cool to own a zoo.
You gotta think of the progression, right? And you can do as many branches as you want, okay? And feel free, if you have some jobs, post them sooner rather than later, so that if Shannon gets inspired, she can go off them too.
Okay. I'm gonna start my cat cafe worker tree.
All right. So we're going to start rendering our skill tree, our unlock tree. So we're going to have some sort of thing that we have to do in this game to get points to unlock stuff, but I haven't decided what that is yet. Chat, if you have any ideas for a really simple mechanic, the obvious one is a clicker, but if you have any ideas for something else, let us know. In the meantime, though, I'm going to work on the rendering of this thing. So what we want to do is we want to have a skill tree that is going to define different levels and whatever the next thing points to. So to make that happen, I'm going to add an extension. We're going to add arcade sprite data, which we no longer do a fun thing for, and add it to the project. Okay. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to have a function, and I think this function is going to be set previous requirement. And it's going to take in a sprite, which is going to be called the current. And it's going to take in another one, which is going to be called previous. And what this is going to do is it is going to create a version of the sprite. Does Shannon know she's not here? Oh, actually, I know what she's doing. Never mind. I think she's getting a delivery. Okay, so we're going to use our sprite data to link these guys. So let's go to our sprite thing. Shannon's back. Okay, so we're going to basically do a bidirectional link type thing with these guys. So we're going to do previous. We're going to store the parent. I'm sorry, we're going to store child, and we're going to point to current. And with the other one, we're going to do parent and just reverse the two. So we have links in both ways. That'd be nice. One thing though, you can only have one parent in this, but you can have multiple children. And so we want to make it so that the child, we can have more than one. Right now we just have this child one, so we have to figure out a way to do that. And I have an idea. I'm thinking what we'll do is we will just store a number of children, and we will just, whenever we add a new one, we'll just add an index to the end of it and check it that way. By the way, Shannon, the template is in the chat, and you can use all of the 32 by 32. It doesn't need to be centered or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, just go wild.
Awesome.
Also, if you want to turn it to a griffin or something, go for it. But please make sure that there is some sort of anamorphs type progression.
Transformation sequence. Okay.
Okay. So
Getting into tasks, what game are you making?
Okay, we're making a skill tree where you unlock different jobs. So the idea is that you'll be doing something to get experience, and once you get experience, you can put that into a job, and then if you get enough experience, you can unlock the next version of that job. For example, when you're a normal guy, you might get enough experience, and then you can become an accountant, or you can become a automotive repairman. And if you keep putting experience into automotive repairman, then you might become an aircraft repairman or something. I don't know. Let's see. Joey put his the thing he's working on, which is cat cafe worker can become a cat trainer, can become a lion tamer, can become a lion legion keeper. which is very good.
1 second, I need to fix the spacing because it like messed it up. I don't know why.
Yeah. So that's the basic idea. We're gonna have, it's like a thing where you unlock other things, and yeah, and then eventually we'll add some mechanic for making it so that you have to, something you have to do to get more points. But for now, I'm just gonna do the rendering of like the tree and everything. Okay, so we're setting the previous requirement for a node. We have our current node and we have the previous node. So I need to store how many children we have for each of these nodes. So I'm gonna go into sprite data and grab a set number right here. Sorry, I don't want set. Actually, I want change by probably. Yeah, right there. So we're gonna change the previous data num children by number 1. And we're also going to check up here if we have 0. And if we have a 0, then we're going to set it to 0 so that we don't end up with not a number all over the place. I don't remember if this extension handles that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get the number right here.
Unsigned Arduino in chat says, I better see computer science, and the harder the language, the higher up in the tree it should be. So Python programmers should be unlocked first before C++.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we start out with Lua, then we go to Python. Then yeah, let's make some enemies. Okay, so we're gonna set our previous data num children to 0. Let's see, or if it's like, I guess we don't want to do equals 0. We want to do if it like doesn't exist. I think this is fine, actually. I think this will work just fine. Okay, then we're going to change by 1, and then we're going to do a text join. And we're going to set the child to be child, and then the number of children. So let me go ahead and just grab that number. And then we change it by 1 and we set the parent. Okay, so that should work. And now we can see how many children we have and we can loop over it. Cool. Okay. So let's start. Joey, your thing has become impossible to read.
Huh? Nah, that's fine.
Oh, it doesn't display right on my stream computer, but I can see it on the my
Oh, there
laptop.
is like 2 scrolling boxes. Whatever.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So let's go ahead and just start doing some basic ones. So I think I'm going to make a, we can just use sprites for this just directly. I don't think I need to make a function to make them. I might regret that later. But we're going to make 2 sprites now. The first one is going to be, what should our base class be?
Die. Person.
Unemployed.
Die. Okay, and we know one of the ones that we're going to have is it cat trainer is the first one?
Cat cafe worker.
Okay. Cat cafe employee. And then Shannon, do you want to give us a preview of what yours is going to be?
Farmhand.
Yep.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, these are really the 2 paths you can choose in life, you know?
Everything's in there.
All right, and so
realism.
Yeah, absolutely.
Modern lifestyle.
Okay, so now that we have these 3 kind of jobs made, I'm going to go ahead and just make it so that we can see that they're different. So this one is the cat one. So I'm going to draw a kitty. Cat. Now this one's the farm one, so I'm going to draw a barn. Barn. And we're going to go ahead and set our. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and set our requirements. So for the farmhand, the requirement is that you have to be a guy. And for the cat cafe employee, you also have to be a guy. And now we're going to make a function which is going to be called layout. Oh, and we're going to do edit function, and it's going to take in a root. It's going to be the start. Okay, now what we need to do is we have our root node. We have all of these children node. We need to lay this out so that they're kind of in like a tree type thing. So what I'm thinking is like the guy will be down here, right? And then they'll like go over and to the left will be one, over and to the right will be another one. And then from that one, we'll go to the left and the right and left and right and so on and so forth. So for each one, we're basically going to be creating like a tree, and the tree has subtrees and blah, 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 blah. So the best way to do this is a recursive function, I think. Anything you can do recursively, you can do iteratively, but I think it's going to be easiest to think about as a recursive function. And so what we're going to do is we're going to first do our base case. So I'm going to say if number of children equals 0. So we're going to go into our sprite, go ahead and get the data as number, do root, do num children equals 0. Then we need to do something. So what I'm thinking is we need to calculate how wide we are. So when we do this layout, we're going to return how wide each like subtree is, because we know how each layer is going to be in terms of height. It's always just going to be the same amount, 32. But depending on how many children we have, it could go really wide or it could go, less wide, so on and so forth. So for the root one, we just want to return the width of like one of these sprites plus like some padding. So we're going to return 32 plus, or we'll just return the width of our sprite, kind of future-proof this. And we will add in, I don't know, 8. So we have 4 on either side. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to tally up all of our children and add those together. So this is actually going to be a little tough to do without local variables. No, it's fine. I can use the sprite as my local variable store. Yeah. Okay, so the reason we need local variables for this is because let's say I just made it. So I want to lay out all of the children and then add together all of the weights that I get from that. Let's say I made a temp number. Well, I could add all of the things to the temp number, but then all of the children calls to this function are going to add the same thing to their temp number, and the children calls of those children are going to add it to the temp number, and it's just going to spiral out of control because everyone's using the same variable. It's not going to work. But because we have these sprites that we are passing in, we can just store them on the sprite themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and go into here and do a set root data width to number 0. And as we do layout on each of the children, we're going to add whatever the result is to this width. So let's go ahead and do a for index. We're going to do a for index to the root num children. It's important that you get the capitalization right. And we need to do -1. And we're going to do a change by sprite data, like this. And we're going to change the width Watts by a call to this function layout on our child. So we're going to do a get as sprite. And we need to use our index. So we're going to use a join and do child and then the index. So this will get us each of our children. Okay, and I think that this is actually just going to be called calculate widths because we'll probably do 2 passes. Okay, so this will calculate the widths of our thing and store them all on all of the nodes. Right, so each of our nodes at the end of this are going to have a width that is set to how many, what the width of their children is. Oh, except for the leaf ones, which we want to go ahead and set those right here. We might as well also set it. These guys. There we go. Okay, so now that we've done that, we need to make it so that we actually lay these guys out. So we're going to do another recursive function, which is going to be like move all the nodes. Okay, let's see. We got our first one from Joey. This is our cat cafe employee. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. And we have, aww, they're wearing cat ears.
The cat sweatshirt.
Wait, so Joey, do you want me to change this cat or?
Yeah, you drew a really good cat before, so I feel like you could just get a better version of that real quick.
I can draw a cat. I'll draw AutoZone.
Perfect.
The cat ears are a really nice touch, I have to say.
Nice. I was just imagining, like, what should you wear if you were a cafe worker, and it's like, it's obvious.
Yeah.
Nice.
And this is a little bit misleading because AutoZone won't actually wear a collar. It's okay though, he doesn't go outside. He's an indoor only cat. This is definitely not how I drew him before. This looks kind of weird. I think I want to do that, and I think I want to make it so that his head is a little bit wider. That, move this over. Make it a little bit taller also. And then there, that's something. Okay. And let's set a background color. Do you guys have a preference for the background color since you guys are the ones doing the art? Do you think you're going to use a lot of orange?
I have used some orange, but I can unuse it.
Okay, what about, I can't use pink. Yellow is farmy.
We might need to do like little cards behind them in the end.
Yeah.
So you can choose a base color to go with something. I think like orange.
Yeah, you should just do orange, and then we can adjust.
Yeah. Worst case, we'll draw a little border and circle around them, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually lay out. Oh, is this yours, Shannon?
Yeah, I'm just giving you the first one in case you need it for.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and replace my placeholder. Oh, that's a farmer. Look at them.
It's not a farmer, Richard. Farmer's the next class.
Yeah, farmer's the guy in charge. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do move all the nodes, and we're going to edit this function because I didn't get time to put everything in. And we're going to put in a left. We're going to put in a top, and we're going to put in the root. That's what's going to be passed to these. So for each of these guys, we're going to be using the width that we calculated to give them the correct left, top, and root. So I want them to be centered at 0. So we're going to start out with a left 0, and we're going to basically kind of move the left to the left and move the top up as we do each row in our recursion. All right, so let's start with just the root. So we're going to place the root based off this position we have. So we're going to set their y to be the top, the x to be the left. Oh my gosh, that's a quarter. Why do I keep doing this? Why? Okay.
Been on a roll lately. We need to establish the boomerang rubber band. We need to establish the seesaw exact measurements so that Joey can start getting quarters too.
Yep, it's true. Joey, we decided that every time I get a quarter, you get 3 quarters.
I'm not sure that's how it works.
Ooh, we have a bug in our code. Let's use the debug and go ahead and see where we're crashing. Set root data width to number root width plus 8. Oh, okay, so it seems like, yeah, root is being set to null. So I'm guessing what's happening is we have the index wrong for one of our things. I can't look at the sprite data on these guys, can I? It won't even expand for me. Oh, cool.
Oh, is it stopped on a crash? Yeah, we can't expand on crashes.
All right, that's fine. We'll go ahead and get rid of this, and we're going to do an on sprite created of kind player. And I think what's happening here is probably that we need to do this. And that fixed it. There you go. So what was happening there was that the initial num children is undefined, and so we weren't hitting my if case, and so I needed to put it inside here. We really need to fix that function, but whatever, we'll do it later. Okay, so move all the nodes. So we're setting our root. Now what we want to do is we know the width of our root because we have calculated it already. So we're going to call this on all of the children, and we're going to store 2 things. So first off, let's do a loop just like we did before. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this over, actually. Just like that. And for these, what we're going to do is we're going to call this move all the nodes. And we want this to be centered on our root position. So to get the children, we can go ahead and do it like that. But we want to set it so that the left and top we are sending are based off the position that we stored earlier on our node. So we have this width. Let me go ahead and get the data as number for width. And if we want to center it, we actually just want to subtract half the width. So we want to do left minus the width divided by 2. Looking for a division. There we go. Width divided by 2. Like that. And for the top, we want to do the top minus some amount. Like, it's always going to be the same amount. Each one's 32 by 32. So we just want to go up by, like, I don't know, 40. Okay, and to make this easier to see, let's go into scene and we're going to do a center camera on guy. Or a camera follow guy, I mean. There, okay. So you can see we have our guy, and now we have both of these guys being set at the same position. That's because they are both getting past the same number, which is this left minus root data width divided by 2. We need to make it so that we keep track of the width of each of the children so that we can add it to another number. So we're going to use another local variable in the form of sprite data on our sprite. We're going to set that data to be 0. This is going to be like child offset. Doesn't really matter. We want this to just be a local variable. So we're going to set this to be 0 in the start of this function. And then we are going to change it by, just like we did this change width by before, we're going to do the change child offset by the sprite child, and we want to get the width out of that. So we're going to take this out, put this in here, get rid of the calculate widths. We don't want that. We don't want to call that. And we can just do root, get the child as sprite, get the width, and change this child offset by this number. And then we are going to add that to this little math we're doing. So go ahead and do a plus, do left plus the child offset that we were just calculating. So root child offset. There you go. Okay. So we have our two things being laid out now. It's off by a bit. I probably messed up my math somewhere. It's fine for now. Oh, good. Thank you, Joey, for giving me another one, because I'm about to do more layers. So now that we've got this kind of going, let's go ahead and add more layers so that we can do a better job of like debugging what's up with this code. I'm going to go ahead and make another one. We're going to do that and put them right there. And oh my gosh. Bag, this is a cat trainer. Oh, I love this.
I love the AutoZone doing a trick.
Yeah. Okay, so I can't create variables for all of these guys. So we're going to go ahead and make a function now, which is going to be called create wait, do I have to create variables for all these guys? Let's just do a create sprite that takes in an image. And no, is there even a reason for me to do this function? Why not just take these guys and put them directly in here, I guess. Problem is you need to get a reference to the previous one, you know? Really don't want to make a ton of variables. Okay, we'll make a function which is going to be called getChild. It's going to take in a sprite, which is going to be root, just going to keep using that name. And it's going to take in an index. And I'm going to just do a return in here. And we're going to return this thing we were doing before, so this join business. Like that. And I need to replace this with the ones from this function. Go. Why are you upset? Oh yeah, you're fine. Okay, and let's go ahead and call this function where we were calling it before so that we can just clean up our code a little bit as I'm doing this refactor. Can someone give me the refactor song? Thank you. And I like that it was, I guess, meows.
I don't know what mouth shape Vivian uses to make the noise.
It's just like do 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 do.
It's not like a doo-doo-doo though. It's like a computer noise.
Okay, like a computer noise.
Try again, Richard. You can do better.
Beep 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 boop 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 boop. I don't think that's it. Okay, so the plan is I'm going to set a we're going to make this thing we're going to use like a temp sprite variable. So let's make a temp sprite variable right now. And we're going to use this to like build out our tree. So I'm going to start out by setting our temp sprite equal to guy, and we'll try and see how this works out. I don't actually know if this is going to work super well. We're going to set previous requirement for the temp sprite. We're going to set the previous requirement for this guy to be guy. We're going to set the previous requirement for this guy to also be guy. Now we're going to set the previous requirement for, let's see, get child. Okay, we're going to set temp sprite to be get child guy 0. So this is going to give us our cat trainer. And then we're going to set previous requirement on the new sprite that we're making, the cat trainer, to be this one. So I think that should be good. And now let's go ahead and bring back the calculate widths and move all the nodes. Okay.
I've made something terrible.
You have?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna save this one and I'll show you after stream.
Okay. And I realize now I need a camera I can move around. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make a camera. Nice. Okay. All right. Yeah. So look, we got our thing getting laid out right. Looks good. All right, we have another one from Shannon. Aw, farmer.
Farmer.
Aw, he got older.
Yeah. I felt like I should do some palette swapping.
That's good. Okay, so we have now set this guy to be this one, and I think this layout is creeping to the left for some reason. Shouldn't be doing that. Let's figure out what's wrong with our layout code. What we should see right now is we should have guy, then we should have the 2 of our children equal on like both sides, and then we should have the 2 directly above them because we're not getting any wider. Okay, and I think that part of the problem is that I'm using left and top, but not actually using it as left and top. Let's fix that. So we're gonna go to root. We're gonna set the left to left and the top to top. That, and then get rid of the set position we're doing. Okay, now let's move over. And nope, still got the same problem, but hopefully the code is a little bit easier to understand now. So the top looks good. That's being calculated right. For the left, we're doing left minus the total width divided by 2. So that should give us the total offset. So if we have this one, we're setting our left to be, actually, I guess the left should just be, okay, so it should be the left minus the total width divided by 2. Is that right? We have the left. And then if the width is equal to 32, we don't want it to move at all. So we want to do the left plus half the width, which is 20. Divided by width plus 2. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that fixed it. All right, we have another one from Joey. So this one is, you can either become a cat trainer off of a cat like shop employee, or you can become a pet store owner.
Oh, I meant cafe. Cat cafe
Oh,
owner.
cat cafe owner. Okay.
They have the same outfit,
The
right?
business owner hat with the like feather. Really, really good, Joey.
Yeah.
This person did put a lot into it because he did pay extra to get his roof shaped like a cat ears.
Yes. No,
You
that's
can tell he really
true.
cares for his craft.
Or did they get this building and then decide, oh, this is what I have to do with my life now?
They had to get orange lights too, which is really weird, but it works for the eyes.
Oh, okay, so our layout function is working. So you can see now that we have a wider one on the left than we do on the right. And this seems to be doing all right. Okay, so this is cool. What we want to do now, though, is we want to make it so that we draw lines going from this one to the next one. So to make this happen, I think we're going to use sprite utils. So let me add that. You guys all know what sprite utils is at this point. All right. Ooh, we got another one for Shannon. Shannon, where's this go in your tree?
Oh, this is all a straight line down from farmer still.
Okay. We have a king of vegetables.
It's a broccoli king.
Oh, of course, the classic broccoli king.
Yeah. There's one
love
more
it.
in this tree after that one.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Oh,
Broccoli.
it's a shame Vivian chose today to skip. I feel like she would have a lot of fun with this.
If she's watching right now, she's probably in tears that she's missing this.
Yeah. Vivian, if you're watching right now, comment in chat. If you're not, you're dead to us. Okay. So what?
I said not to me though.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and draw our lines to our skill tree now. So the reason I added sprite utils was so that I could use this fancy old render function right here. I'm going to draw these lines using yet another recursive function. Why not? Why not? So I'm going to go to this calculate widths and I'm going to duplicate it just to save myself a little bit of time. This one's going to be called draw lines. And to this function, let's edit it real quick. We're going to pass in an image, which is going to be the screen. And we're going to keep this loop, but get rid of everything else. Okay, so now we have this loop. What we want to do is we want to draw lines going from our root to all of our various children. So to make this happen, we're going to be using, inside of images, these draw line blocks. So what we need to do first is we need to determine if this child is on the left side, the right side, or the top of our sprite, I think. So let's see. Oh, this is actually more complicated than I thought. You know what, we're just going to do this the easy way, but it's going to be ugly. And then we will fix it later. I have an idea, but so we're going to do draw a line from the root x, root y to the like child x, child y. So let me go ahead and do the get child right here, the root in there, this inside of an x block, the index in there, duplicate this. This is y, and we need this to be a color that'll show up. So we'll do like beige. It'll probably show up.
Wow.
Markets.
Oh, Unsigned Arduino says, Richard is 3 times ahead of Joey. So if Joey messes up, you should get 3/4. We could do ceiling, or we could round it. Or
I was thinking natural log. That would be
the power of 2. Natural log.
of the diff between first and you.
Oh, and then Unsigned Arduino also says there should be a function which accepts a variable depth array, which represents the tree, so you don't have to keep the variables around and just connect them as you make them.
Oh yeah. Well, I already got it set up this way, but that is a good idea. Okay. So what am I doing? Math. I opened the math category. Now, was that correct, or was I doing something wrong? Oh, right. I need to subtract the camera offset, draw offsets. So I need to go into scene, grab out the camera block, the one that gives you the positions, and do minus camera left. And do this for our X1s. If I was doing this in JavaScript, I would calculate if this line is even going to be on the screen, but I don't have time for that. And also this function probably does that. Draw line probably already does that, so it's probably wasted effort.
Oh, it ignores us. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Okay, so, oh, right, we're not calling it recursively yet. I don't think this counts as another quarter. Does this?
I think it's fine.
Shannon.
We've tied Joey and Richard's quarters. No, I think it's fine.
You're going to get tied in too. You're the second least number of quarters.
I offered to stream today, but
that's true. You did do that, but I had this idea. Hey, this actually looks pretty good, I got to say.
Yeah.
Okay, we have another one from Joey. Okay, let's see. So this one is coming after our
owner.
Yeah, so we're gonna do, let's see, get child 0 and then get child 1. Oops. Here, it's here. Okay. And we're going to set this to be, very good. This is, of course, a Cat Cafe CEO. So there you go. You can see that now. All right. So we've got our skill tree drawing, and I got to say it looks pretty good. So I think what we need to do now is, let's see. I'm thinking, should I refactor the code like Unsigned Arduino said?
Real quick, even if it's not used, could we add just like a set previous requirement and add a string for a name just so we can have them all labeled for future reference?
Oh yeah, we should probably do that. You think people won't be able to tell all of these, Joey? Have some faith.
I mean, we'll use it eventually is my thing. Not that we won't be able to tell. They're all beautiful and unique in their own way.
All right, you're still not branching, Shannon? Is this another one on the same path?
Yes, I have the first branching one almost ready.
All right. Okay, so we're going to set the current data string name to name, and we'll go and fill in all of these ones that I've already done. So this one is, of course, cat trainer. This one is farmhand. Sorry, not cat trainer. What am I doing? Cat cafe worker. This one's a cat trainer. This one is a cat cafe owner. This one is a cat cafe CEO. Now this one's a farmer. This one is a broccoli king. Naturally. And then we have another new one from Shannon. And this one is a tree.
Tree?
The natural progression.
Yeah.
There we go. Tree up there. All right. So while Shannon's working on her art for this last one, we're almost out of time. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the names when we overlap with them, I think. So let's go ahead and do that. To make that happen, I'm going to put in the text sprite extension.
I am now remembering you saying that you wanted these to be like modern.
No, it's whatever.
Okay, cool. Because this next branch is also not better in that respect.
I mean,
no, I'm very
I
happy.
I distinctly remember in my like kindergarten class, we were like, "What's your job in the future? What's your dream job?" Somebody did say tree.
Nice.
And I didn't understand it at the time, but now I get it.
Mm-hmm.
My brother's thing for a long time was he wanted to be a T-Rex.
Aw.
Are you saying that's not your current dream job? I don't understand, Richard.
I mean, I'd have to ask him. I don't know. I don't want to set data. What am I doing? So we want to do this text sprite. We want to set the relative to camera to be on this guy. Relative to camera on. This will make it so it doesn't move around while we're moving around. And now we're going to do an on overlaps. And we're going to do on sprite of kind player overlaps other sprite of kind cursor. Then we are going to set the text sprite text to whatever it is. So to set the text of our text sprite to be get data as string here, there, do name. Hi, Hassan.
Hello.
You can't speak up on me.
Yeah, apparently not. I was gonna say my dream job was to be a firefighter when I was like 8 years old, and then I found out they fought fire, and the job was a lot less appealing. Although they just gotta live in the house and drive the truck.
I think I also said firefighter, but I remember very clearly making the decision of like, I don't know what I want to be, but people always ask me this, so I'm gonna say firefighter. And I didn't actually want to be a firefighter.
I also had a short-lived desire to be a race car driver. Then I found out they can crash, and so I also left that. Whoa, cat cafe.
Yeah. So our current progression. Let me fix this text first. So I'm going to go into set position. I'm going to set the position of our text sprite to be 80 and like 10. So it'll be at the top of the screen. And we're going to give it an outline so it's easier to read. Okay, so we have, so you start out as just a guy. So that's this guy down here. Then you can become, obviously the two jobs you can become after being a guy are either a cat cafe worker or a farmhand. The cat cafe worker can be a cat trainer or a cat cafe owner. And from a cat cafe owner, you can become a cat cafe CEO. All right. Now, the other one is you can become a farmhand.
Yeah.
And after a farmhand, you can be a farmer. and then a broccoli king, obviously,
Yes.
and then a tree.
I have 2 more for Richard.
That's
Jen
amazing.
has just given me 2 more pieces of art, and don't worry, guys. This game is not going away. We're gonna pick this up tomorrow because I'm having too much fun.
Hi. Broccoli King.
All right, where's
Hassan,
this
you
one
need to start
fit?
implementing your job path, by the way.
There.
Where does this one
I
fit,
feel like
Shannon?
I feel like Cat
the-
Cafe CEO. That's okay.
The first one branches off from farmhand. It's like after farmhand, parallel to
Okay.
farmer.
Gotcha. So we're gonna do down here. We're gonna set this to be called get child on guy. Oh, and we just want to do 1. And then we're gonna do set previous requirement. Go ahead and open this up, paste it in, and scarecrow. Very good. Lowercase c, I think.
Is that what
Is this
happens
one-
if you fail farmhand school?
No, you're being promoted.
Yeah, this is a promotion. This is all up. And then where's this one go?
Immediately after Scarecrow, I
Okay.
didn't have time to think of any intermediate steps, so
That's fine. Like I said, we're coming back to this. All right.
cool.
So don't worry. Make this 0. And we're gonna do another one of these. We're gonna open this up, delete this, and then do Crow God.
Amazing.
Well, what's the official name of this? What's the official name of this one?
I've been calling it Ascended Crow, but Crow God is also very good.
That's very good.
I think, yeah, Ascended Crow, that sounds like a class in this game.
It does.
It's because I've been playing a lot of Slayless Fire, guys.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right, we got some bugs with our layout. Broccoli King is now going into the territory of the Cat Cafe CEO.
Because wait, Crow branches off of Scarecrow, not Farmer.
You know.
Oh, whoops. Yeah.
I think if you change it, it'll re-show.
Yeah, we can ignore the problem for now. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, that is just making the problem go away. But that's okay. Yep. Now everything works. Ascended Crow.
Kevin McClear in chat asks, are scarecrows just specific to crows? Are other birds like what?
Yeah, other birds are cool with it, you know?
I think so.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're out of time. This game's amazing. We're going to be doing a lot more of these, I think. And we need to get Vivian on here because I feel like Vivian has a lot to contribute to this. So tune in tomorrow where hopefully we'll make this into an actual game. And then on Friday where we'll probably just spend the entire time making dumb jobs.
Maybe we should just implement Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, all right, we'll do that on Friday. Friday we'll do all Final Fantasy Tactics, which is a
We'll have
game
half
that is
the time
very
for
dear.
implementing Final Fantasy Tactics all the way, and then half the time for adding more jobs.
Right. Everyone, play Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. It's such a good game. I'm Richard, at Richard on the MakeCode forum. Thanks for watching.
I'm Hassan on the MakeCode forum.
I'm Joe, at JWonder on the MakeCode forum.
I'm Shannon. And check out on the MakeCode forum.